Okay, hey, what's up? Welcome to episode number 3 of Gorilla Talk. So, let me introduce you to my homie, Kilo. This is Kilo. He's not too happy today, I don't think. Look at that. Oh yeah, he's chilling. Alright, so anyways, Kilo, he's my boy. We've had him for a year and a half. It's a love-hate relationship. You know, we're trying to foster him, but we can't find him a family. So, I love having him, but I hate the fact that I can't find him a family. It's bittersweet, but we need help trying to find him a family. So if you know anybody that is looking for a new family member or a new friend for their child, or preferably somebody with a family that is very active, you know, so if you know anybody that is fairly active and has a family and wants a dog, we have one. He is amazing. He does all those things. He's super active. He's super friendly with babies. At least he is with Zoe. Friendly with dogs. And he's all around a great dog. So that's my quick spiel for that. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to close this. Turn off all this noise here. All right. So today, you should have gotten episode 2. Because it took forever for it to upload from my phone. So I have to find a different way for it to upload. Figuring this YouTube stuff out is just, it's a matter of time. So I'm trying to find the most efficient way to do this that would allow me to be the most consistent. So far, it's been on my phone. The only downfall is that it takes a substantial amount of the day, like a big chunk of my day, just to get it uploaded, and then it also kills my battery like this. So I need to figure out, I think I might just need to buy a laptop with internet, to be honest with you. And so we're gonna look at our budget and we're gonna see where that's at. But until then, there has to be a way, and I think it's gonna be this. And I just gotta just get better at waiting for it to finish, because I think it stops processing when the phone is off, and so I just gotta sit there and keep the phone on until it's done. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys today that yesterday I felt like shit, and so I was gonna post yesterday and tell you guys about my day and stuff, but I felt like shit. I woke up feeling like shit, and I knew I felt like shit, and I went to the gym anyways, and my workout felt heavy. And these are usually the type of things that I have to fight myself in my own ego, because I don't want to share them, right? You don't want to share the bad days. You only want to share the good days. But I think it should be said, and you should understand the thought process that goes behind it after a while, and you try to figure it out yourself. You're doing it the hard way. You're gonna keep running into a wall. So anyways, I'll post the videos of my workout towards the end, and a little bit about my mindset during my workout and the lesson that I learned, okay, and why I had to fight my own ego for yesterday. So yesterday is, Sundays are my Monday, so I take Sunday as my Monday. I start preparing for my week on Sundays, okay? So Sundays are a very important day, because it's how I start the week and how I end the week. And so the momentum has to build off of how you start the week and how you end the week, and how you start the week and how you end the week. And then you keep climbing little by little, just doing one thing per week, but you got to stay consistent. So you try the same thing 3 weeks in a row, and then boom, you move on to the next task and you move on. So how did you start the week? How did you end the week? How consistent were you? Right? You measure the 7 days, and then, okay, I was straight 3 days. I was straight 4 days. I was straight 7 days, right? Once you get to a proficient, like, hey, I'm at consistent 4 days. I've been at 4 days for the last 4 weeks now. Damn, that's pretty consistent. Let me try and do 5 days now, right? Then you can add a day, but you got to measure that. And so you have to be aware of what it is that you're measuring and what the goal is that you're trying to get to, okay? So anyways, Sundays are my leg days. Those are my squat days. Those are the days that I focus on just building my squat or whatever it is that I'm doing. Right now, I'm worried more about sustaining my strength, but mainly just working on my physique. I want to feel good. I want to feel confident in my clothes. I want to look look like I work out. I want to look like I'm strong. I want to feel strong. I want to be physically active. I want to be able to have good conditioning, okay? And sometimes that means you don't hit a lot of heavy weight, and that's where I get to fight with my own ego, because it's some days I want to go heavy, especially like days like yesterday. I was doing front squats, and if you're new to fitness, what I'm using is a transformer bar. It's by a brand called Kabuki. I recommend you look them up. They're on Instagram. I'll put their IG handle in the description. But yeah, so it was a transformer bar. I set it to front squat. So front squats are really good to work like your core, work your quads, work all the front of your body, right? Because all the leverage is in the front, all the weight is in the front. So that's what I was working on for that day. So I was only able to put 45-pound plate on that for that day, and it felt like death. Like, I woke up in the morning, and then I even drank my energy drink, and I'm like, man, today I feel like ugh. But I do it at 5 a.m. So most days I wake up feeling like that, and then I snap my way into like, boom, all right, let's get this shit done. Yesterday I couldn't do that. Then I went, by the end of my workout, so I did front squats, 3 sets of 10. Then I did lunges. I did 2 sets of 20. Then I did 2 sets of 25 for leg raises, and then I did 2 sets of push-ups for 25 as well. I did 1 set of push-ups because it felt like death. Now that I remember, yeah, I did 1 set of 20, and I'm like, whoa, these push-ups feel like shit. And so what that tells me is, as a coach, is that your nervous system is battling something. You're shot. You're fatigued, right? And so it's not that you're weak. It's not what it is that you're weak. It's like physiologically you are weak, but it's because something inside of you. You're fighting something, right? So, anyways, I listened to my body and I stopped working out at that point. I'm like, you know what? Oh well. I showed up. I tried, and I gave it my best. But you have to know when to call it quits, right? Part of this journey is you have to know when to call it quits. Like, I've been doing this for almost 13 years now, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna go back tomorrow, or I'm gonna go back the next day. Like, I'm not gonna stop going to the gym just because I have one bad workout. That's not in me anymore, because going and working on my physical health in the gym is part of who I am as a person. But what I'm trying to get at is, especially for beginners that have this on-off type of mentality, is just understand that we have 365 days every year, right? And that's your season. If you go 80% of the season, you're active. 80% of the season you're active, then you're doing pretty well. You're in that like top 5% of people that exercise, right? And then in 20% you're inconsistent, but you spread it out throughout the whole thing. It's like weekends or whatever you want to do. Like, but you need that off season, because then it helps you recuperate for that season of work. So if you have like an 80-20 split for the year, I like to do it in quarters, right? Anyways, I'm going into like coach mode, and I can ramble about that all day. But if you want to learn more about that and you're interested in hearing that, leave me a comment below, and please tell me that you're willing to hear me nerd out about this stuff, and I can tell you how I lay out my program and how I do my thing, especially right now that I'm in a transition between going from, well, I'm not in transition, man. I'm a fucking dad, right? I'm a dad, but the transition I'm going from is working from home to working in construction and traveling all the time. So how I manage my food, how I go about my training, how I go about meal prep. Well, that's part of food, right? Yeah. How I deal with the new fatigue, how it affects my strength, like all these different things, all these different technicalities that you have to think of when you do your programming. So technically, this is how you should be thinking about your approach to fitness, just as long as it's within your plan. Like for me, my plan is I'm always trying to be at like a basic like 10 to 15% body fat at about 165 to 175 pounds. So if I can float between there and at that body fat percentage, then I feel okay. And I feel healthy. Right now, I'm not there. So that's where I'm working towards. And that's what I'm going to be working towards for a while now. Until then, I'm going to be working on that. I'm working on my financial goals before I even think about competing. Right? But that doesn't mean I'm not thinking about competing and I'm not training with that intention now. So now that just kind of gives you a backstory of where I'm looking at it from. I'm looking at it from an athlete's perspective and from a coach's perspective. Like, okay, athletically, this is what I want, right? I want to be able to have a consistent training program. I want to be able to be there for my family. I want to be there. I want to see steady growth. I'm more concerned about seeing steady growth in my strength rather than seeing maximal strength. I just want to build the correct habits that'll help me substantially grow so that when I am 50, I'm still doing this. And the weight that I'm doing now is my warm-up at that point, right? How crazy would that be? Right now, we live in a society that when you're 50, I think, well, at least in my world, I feel like all the 50-year-olds in my circle are embracing this new era in their life, right? I'm in my 30s. I'm embracing this new era in my life. And look at me, I went on a tangent all over again. And that's a good story too. If you want me to go into that, let me know in the comments as well. All right. But anyways, what I was going at is I was down yesterday. Dead down. Okay, I didn't even eat. We made waffles, we made potatoes, we made bacon, tempeh bacon, but I didn't eat any of it because I didn't want to eat. I felt like boo-boo. So Asmin took the wheel and she let me rest. She let me sleep for most of the day. I was able to sleep with Zoe for an hour, which was cool. And then I took a couple other cat naps throughout the day. And then I made sure I got to bed at a decent time. Right now it's 9:11, so I was in bed by 9 yesterday. And then I woke up at 5 today, which ensured that I got 8 hours of sleep. And then I slept another 45 minutes after. So I got 9 hours, almost 10 hours of sleep. Before I had to come into work today. And that's super important because when you're fighting something, I had the cold sweats and everything, man. Like I think I had a fever for a little bit too, but you just got to hydrate. And shout out to my girl for making me hydrate because it's very hard to hydrate when you feel sick. But anyways, yeah. So I slept it off and I sweated out and I slept in a sweater and, I woke up feeling better. A lot better. So that just goes to show the power of rest, listening to your body, understanding what it's trying to tell you at all times. It's always trying to tell you something. Just like when you drive this car, right? Just like when you drive your car, you have your gauges, your RPM, your miles per hour, how much gas you have, the temperature of all the important things. So you should always keep in front of your brain somehow all the important things that matter to you, which should be sleep, hydration. Ooh, see, that's not a good sign. Sleep, hydration, nutrition, training, recovery. Okay? So, you got to have all those things. By recovery, I mean rest. Okay? So, that's my spiel for today. Always remember sleep, hydration, nutrition, fitness, and recovery. Right? So remember those things, always keep them in the front of your head and understand where you are in those at all times so that you can adjust your training and your food accordingly. All right? So do those things and your body composition will follow, I promise you. Anyways, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and share if you found this information valuable, okay? If you did, share it with somebody that you think it would help. Leave me a comment. Let me know what tangent you want me to go on, and I'll talk about it. If not, then I'll just kind of keep spitting from the top of my head and hopefully providing you with some value. All right.